The man approached Ferrari's pit area and quietly tossed a loose nut onto the ground. The race car sped out of the pit, but the mechanics noticed an extra part. Everyone froze, worried the car might have a serious issue. Shelby smiled knowingly, his expression showing his scheme had worked. Ever since a failed acquisition, Ford had treated Ferrari like a sworn enemy. But at Le Mans, Ford was still a rookie. To beat Ferrari, they rolled out an all-new race car, equipped with a 4.2-liter V8 engine, capable of unleashing tremendous power. When the race began, drivers sprinted to their cars, but Ken's Ford GT40 just wouldn't get its door to shut. He took off holding the door, only to quickly get caught in a brutal collision. Debris struck his car, making the door even harder to control. A Ferrari zipped past, throwing him a mocking glance. With the faulty door slowing him down, Ken couldn't perform at his best and had to pit after the very first lap. The crew fumbled uselessly until the veteran mechanic stepped in, drove them away, and with one hammer strike, locked the door tight. Ken pushed hard to catch up and soon chased down a Ferrari. The other driver lost control, avoiding an accident, skidding straight into a haystack. Through the night, Ferrari held the top two positions. Ken didn't dare relax, flooring it through the pouring rain. By his next pit stop, he had closed the gap to just 2 laps. By dawn, he finally caught sight of Ferrari's ace driver. The two cars ran side by side, the Ferrari refusing to let him pass and using the corners to keep his GT40 pinned. On the straights, the GT40 had the edge, and Ken pushed it to the limit. Even approaching a sharp right-hander, he didn't lift off the throttle. The Ferrari driver lost his nerve and slammed the brakes. Ken slipped past, but he was still a full lap behind. Determined to win, Ken skipped the chance to pit and pushed on. When he met the Ferrari again at the same corner, his car was on the edge, but he managed to pass on the straight. With the revs nearly maxed out, the Ferrari had no choice but to go all in. It backfired. The Ferrari broke down first, and Ken's victory seemed certain. But just as Ford was about to take the crown, the vice president decided to meddle. The top 3 spots were all Fords, so he suggested the 3 cars cross the line together. That meant Ken would have to slow down and wait for the other 2. Reluctantly, not wanting to put his friend Shelby in a tough spot, Ken set a record-breaking lap to prove his skill. The crowd went wild, waving flags, but near the finish line, he eased into low-speed mode. When his 2 teammates caught up, all 3 Fords crossed the line together. Yet when the results came in, the crowd rushed to celebrate his teammate instead. Because that teammate had started farther back, he was declared the true winner. That man, Bruce McLaren, became a legend. The sight of 3 Fords crossing the finish line in unison became an eternal classic at Le Mans, and Ferrari, learning from the loss, began numbering all its parts.